We're about to go live. What up, TikTok? Thanks for coming in. Very important broadcast here today. Very important broadcast. So let's just get right into it. I'm going to get everything going here in a second. Thank you so much for being here. It's about to be good. Okay. Here we go. All right. Good evening, friends and family. I have a big announcement here, very important that everybody tunes in. I have been leading you astray, and I wanted to come clean once and for all about my true identity, true nature, and just the psyop I have been carrying out upon you this entire time. I am, in fact, controlled opposition. I am employed by the GOP. They write me checks. I am from the galaxy of Bleep Blorp. I have had numerous doses of the mysterious potion. And I really am just basically put here to deceive you. I took advantage of all of your merchandise purchases, and I used it to finance my deep state CIA funded operation to deceive you into backing Donald J. Baseball III with the intent of leading you down a path to an unwinnable race. Basically, everything that I've told you up until this point has been a lie. I am controlled op. So, my deepest apologies to you all for your faithful subscriptions to my thing here. But it has all been a ruse, as I am, in fact, part of the Anunnaki. And my deepest apologies. So thank you for coming in. That is the conclusion of tonight's stream. It's been great. And thank you so much. I will shapeshift back to what you would traditionally expect. But please inform everyone that you know that I am not to be trusted. Everything has been a lie. Feel free to communicate amongst yourselves for a moment, and I will shapeshift back to a non-lizard entity, and then I can proceed to gaslight you for the remainder of the stream. Yes, John Fetterman is my son, and he has been doing a great job. Thank you so much. Un momento.
Whoa! What was that? What was that? Excuse me, pardon. Yeah. So you guys you heard it here first. Thank you so much for being here. I am, in fact, a deep state operative GOP shill. It's really nice to know that, after years, literally years plural of just doing things because I thought that was a good thing to do, that I have been outed as I am, in fact, a GOP undercover deep state operative. That is my ship right there. It is currently circling the earth. And my deepest apologies for carrying along for all these lies. All of your merch purchases have been used to finance my deep state CIA operation, and I actually am silently controlling Fetterbean from across the nation. So, look, I wanted to come on here and tickle your brain bag for a few minutes because I feel like the hottest topic of the day. Geez, that thing was hot. It's hot being a human person. The hot topic of the day, is obviously I'm a psyop deep state shill, and obviously the trust the flan bros are, literally like somersaulting out of a bush because that's where they reside. They're like crawling out of a dumpster pile, and they're just like, it's a controlled op. So every single thing is not controlled op. You heard it here first. Every single thing that you disagree with at any given time is not controlled effing op. Glad to know that the Trust the Flan Bros have found a new thing to grab onto, because Trust the Flan Bro, Pompeo's in charge. Donnie is a deep state covert operative. My friend who's a twice honorably discharged Marine Corps vet that lives underneath a bridge in Tennessee that's gotten 53 shots of the mysterious potion. He knows, he tells only the truth. And I'm revealing these deep state cables on 4chan and also on my public Twitter account. BRB, sign up to my $5 per month secret underwater secret sauce society where I will reveal the true nature of what's going on. Here's a mysterious person hidden behind a dark veil with no identity that will tell you the truth. Here's a video of his foot. Is it a he? Is it a they? Is it Fetterbean? I don't know. Must be the GOP. They're turning on Donnie. Turncoat. He's a turncoat. Don't trust this guy. Look at his merch. He's a GOP operative. He got famous out of nowhere. He fell out of a tree. Facebook, Instagram, they're artificially suppressing his content to make sure you see more of it. It's a psyop, bro. He just made 2,000 videos collectively, 3 to 4 videos per day, 6 days a week for 2 years straight because he's part of a CIA covert operation to convince you to turn on Donnie right when it is necessary. It's a crazy, super secret underground psyop. Donnie is playing 400 dimensional. You don't even know how many dimensions. Upside down, underwater, camouflage, digital, 3-dimensional rotational chess. Upside down in a helicopter underneath the sea. You heard it here first. It's the truth. Pompeo, the Blackhawks. It was written underneath the Vatican, which is owned by the Anarchy, bro, is where the truth lies, and I will reveal it all here today. So great. Fetterbean, he's my father. Anyways, everything's dumb. So I want to preface the whole Donnie, DeSanta Claus, upside down, 5,000 dimensional, upside down, inside out chess. And I want to just preface what my situation is and why these are just my opinions, okay? Pompeo, it was written. Donnie is, he was Nikola Tesla's grandfather, built him in a labyrinth. 3 and a half years ago, I was just a random dude that smoked a lot of Weeble Wobble. I was building websites. I had an independent web developer, self-employed entrepreneur since I was 21 years old. I was born and raised in Connecticut to a great family, had a great childhood, loved it. When I was 22 years old, I decided I'm sick of the cold. I was building my web development business. I moved to South Florida on a whim with my pit bull, Biggie. You couldn't own a pit bull in Miami-Dade County, so I moved to nearby where I couldn't have that. I got a single family house, and I started building websites in my single family house. That's what I did. Over the course of the next 10 years, I built up that web development business and spoke at different conferences around the world on how to build a website, how to focus on online marketing and branding. That's what I did. I did it for 10 years. I started that business by myself in this office. Sitting right here is where it actually was built for the most part. I started on a laptop that I still have to this day. That's 13 years old. It's a Sony Vaio. I taught myself how to code websites by myself using YouTube and the internet. I attended a couple college classes when I was in high school. I was excelling way beyond the technology that was being taught in the classes, and I realized that if I wanted to be a web developer, I would have to do it independently. So I sat there and researched and smoked 5,000 blunts over a course of 10 years and taught myself how to build websites. I learned marketing, I learned social media, I learned online branding, and that's how I know how to build an e-commerce store, because I built dozens and dozens of e-commerce stores. That's how I know how to build a great website, branding, logo, graphic design. That's how I know how to manage my social media. Every single video that I make is shot, edited, maintained, put together, downloaded, uploaded, written, title, description. Every single thing has been done by me, by hand, every single day for the last 2.5 years. 3 years ago, I started making videos because I was building a house next door to my current house with my family. We bulldozed the house. And the first day I went there, I was all high. I saw a porta potty sitting out in front of the house. I was like, that's hilarious. I was all lit. I went outside and I made a video on my Instagram account of me being like, isn't that hilarious? The first thing to show up at this house is a porta potty. If anybody needs to drop a hot deuce, feel free to come by my place and drop a dump. I shot the video inside the porta potty. Sorry, I'm setting the fan up so I can have some air here. I set the camera and I recorded it on my Instagram account, and I had 300 followers, 400 followers, friends that I had known and met throughout my life. My story would get 25, maybe 40 views a day on my story. This particular story had 250 views when I had 350 followers or whatever, an unprecedentedly high volume of views based on the number of people that I had. I was like, that's hilarious. People were DMing me, people that I hadn't talked to in years. You got to make more of these videos. These are so funny. So every single day at 5 o'clock, while I sat here and looked out the window of these guys coming to my house and building this brand new house, of which I knew nothing about construction, nothing about building a house, literally nothing at all. I went over there every day and I'd be like, look, there's a dumpster here. There's a stick. There's a log. There's a tube. Looks, it's an electrical boy. It's an electrical boy. Every single video of that process is on my YouTube channel. You can go watch it. There's 130 episodes of me doing it. Those videos have fucking 5 views. On that page, I built that up. I had 100 views and 200 views. Maybe the most I ever got was 8 months into the house building when it was completed. My final story. The video had 450 views. At the time, I was only posting stories and saving them to my highlights. You can look at them on my Instagram account. They go back to day literally 1. I literally maxed out the amount of Instagram highlights that you can have on Instagram, and you can literally go watch me documenting me building this house. I'm just a guy that built websites that started making videos about this house. When the house was done being built, I started roasting my neighborhood. I called them the neighborhood roasts. I went around the neighborhood and I made videos of different houses, and I was like, that's stupid. Look, sticks and rods and stupid trees. And some people duct taped their mailbox to a fudging tree out here. And I was like, that's hilarious. Eventually, I ran out of house to roast. So I started trying to make comedy videos about a bunch of random things. I made comedy videos about, a high school football coach, what they say, a soccer coach, like, who knows this guy? And then I started documenting the remodeling of my own house, the house that I live in now. The guys doing the tile in my kitchen, this thing not showing up on time, people lying to me, and I started making funny videos of that. Eventually, there was no more repairs to do in my house. And I started getting to a point where I was like, I almost want to destroy something in the house to hire somebody so I would have some more content for these videos. It was the August of 2020, and I started making, and I was watching the DNC. I watched the first night of the Democratic National Convention, and I saw Bill Clinton and Ocasio and all of these zany lunatics, and I was like, that's hilarious. What an embarrassing situation that these people are putting out there. So I made a video after the first night of the DNC, and I called it Go Big Blue, Slay Queen. You can watch it on my YouTube channel. Go Big Blue, Slay Queen. I was sitting here in my office facing the other direction, and I made this video. It was 2 minutes and 15 seconds. I didn't think much about it. It almost didn't upload at the last second, and I only posted it in my story. At the last second, it said failed to upload. And I was like, usually I would have dumped the app, restarted it, and I would have lost this iconic video. But in this particular case, I was busy for the day. I thought it was really funny. I just let it ride. I sat the phone on my desk and I kept working. 2.5 hours later, I checked my phone and my story had over 1,500 views, which is 3 to 4 times what a standard story would get on my Instagram account. So all I had was an Instagram account. And people were messaging me saying how funny it was. And I'm like, that's really interesting. So I found a way to save all of the clips down to my phone, and I merged them together using some random Android app where I merged all the videos together and I posted it to my page. The next day when I woke up, I had a text from a friend that said, yo, dude, I saw your video on Barstool. I was like, holy shit. I went and looked. It actually wasn't on Barstool. It was a failure. I went into my office that day. I looked at my phone and the video had 50,000 views. I had picked up 5,000 followers overnight and I now had 5,300 and something followers. Over the course of the next day, every person, every friend, any person that I knew was like, yo, dude, you should delete that. People are going to hate on you. You're talking about politics. We don't want to hear about politics. Friends that I had had my entire life were like, I don't want to see this politics stuff. Like, I'm going to unfollow your page. No disrespect. Fine. I started losing friends almost immediately. Within the 24-hour period, this video had now over 60,000 views, and I was up to 5,800 followers. And it started to slow down after like a 36-hour cycle, which is what I learned. At that point, I was like, could I do it again? Could I make a second video and have it go as viral as this first video? I didn't know anything about making funny videos. I had been making them, but they weren't getting any traction. So I made another video about politics, this time about Lori Lightfoot. You can see the video on my YouTube. It's on my Instagram. It's literally every single place. You can go look at it. The second video, it's up online right now. I sat in my living room and I shot it on my couch. Didn't really think much of it. I was yelling in the first video, so I yelled in the second video. I was holding it with one hand, so it's all choppy and it looks like crap. That's why I hold my phone with 2 hands now, which is how I shoot literally every single video that I have done for the last 2 years. The second video got 53,000 views in the first 24 hours. And it was at that moment that I realized that what I had been searching for, a purpose-driven potential business and a way for me to not only do something that I liked, that I enjoyed, that I would always like and enjoy, that wasn't client work building websites, maybe, just maybe, I could actually make funny videos and build this internet brand where I would talk about politics, something that I cared very much about, and hopefully lead the country, maybe the world, in the better direction. Be a little bit of a thought leader and also have fun with it. I didn't want to just talk about politics all day. I wanted to make it fun and enjoyable and easy to digest. So I decided at that moment that I wasn't going to take on any client work, which I had been doing for the last 13 years of my life, my entire adult life. I had been taking phone calls and doing client work and selling websites, graphic design, and speaking on the topic of web development and graphic design at different places around the world. My most attended speech that I ever did had like 60, 70 people at it, maybe tops. And I was talking about web development and branding. I thought for the longest time I'd be the biggest web development trainer in the world. I had invested in a number of different businesses over the course of my 13 years. Pretty much every single one of them failed. I had a t-shirt company that was based around beer pong that failed when I was 21. I started a web development training school where I taught people how to build websites in person as a way of socializing with people in my local area because I was new to town. But ultimately, what ended up happening was building logos, graphic design, and websites was the biggest moneymaker. It was the thing that I had the most fun doing, and it was enjoyable, but I hated all the client work. At the time, right before I made my video in August of 2020, there was a piece of software that I built every single website that I had ever built for the last 13 years on this one piece of software. On WordPress, which is the content management system that I use to build every single website for my entire adult life / career, literally the single instrument that made me the majority of my wealth and prosperity, whatever. I'm just a random guy. I had a software layer that sat on top of WordPress that got deprecated. In the internet programming world, deprecated code means that code no longer works, is no longer viable in a modern web development world. What that means is it's like I knew how to build cars with gasoline and now every car was electric. And it was at this very moment in August of 2020 that I was trying to figure out what could be my next greatest thing. In August of 2020, I also found out that I had pretty bad sleep apnea. At that time, I was smoking a lot of weed, and I was like, I need to make a radical change. I stopped smoking weed in July of 2020, and within 2 months, this account started to blow up. I repositioned all of my assets, all of my time, all of my effort, every single thing that I was doing to making these comedy videos in the lead up to the election, hoping that maybe, just maybe, I could figure out a way to supplant my web development income with this income from this channel. How was I going to do it? I had no idea. I started getting donations. People asking me for my Venmo, asking me for my Cash App. I couldn't even believe that somebody would actually donate me money. It was mind-blowing to me. So I made a video every single day leading up to the 2020 election. I worked like a dog, literally pumping out 5 to 6 minute videos that were well-researched every single day, 7 days a week for 3.5 months straight leading up to that election. By the time the election came, I had flown to Los Angeles, I had flown to Vegas, I had met a bunch of people, been on some big podcasts, and I was teeing up this operation. People were begging me to make merch. I never thought I could make merch. I never thought that would work. But because I'm a web developer and I know how to drop ship merchandise, and I've had 5 merchandise businesses that have failed, I was like, what if I just write in words, very simple messaging on a drop ship t-shirt at a reasonable price with a high quality material. The first month, it sold $10,000 worth of merch. And it was then that I realized that if I supplanted my web development income with this thing, even if it only made 20 or 30 grand a year, I could eventually build it up into some other career where I could be a thought leader. I could have a lot of fun doing it, maybe take it to a comedy career. I didn't know. So I built it up until the election came. The election came, and then it was this oh no's. And just like that, my ability to make videos that were hitting hot, that were hitting a hot marketplace, got extended until January 21st because the white hats were in charge, because the military was in charge. So I was like, oh my God, now I have an extra 2 months to bust my ass. So I made videos every single day leading up to the election where I honestly gave my real life take on sometimes 3-4 hour live streams that are all available in totality on my Instagram. I made next to no money doing this entire time. In March of 2021, I went on the Real AF podcast with Andy Frisell. I flew out to St. Louis. He was the one person that had messaged me very, very early on, asking me to come on the podcast. This basically cemented my visibility in these other circles. And just like that, as it continued to grow from there, I went on Brad Lee's podcast. I went on other sizable podcasts. And then I went on little podcasts that had no followers at all. I was just doing my best to put my information out there to do the best that I could. I don't know any more about politics than anybody else. In 2005, I didn't care too much about politics at all. I voted for Obama in 2008, which I've talked about extensively on this channel and been more than clear about it. You can see all the records of me talking about this. I started getting into Alex Jones in 2007 through a friend. A friend was walking down the street in Philadelphia, and a person gave them a DVD, and it was loose change. It was loose change, and the person that gave it to him was somebody, I believe it was Luke Rudkowski of wearechange.org. We watched this video and I fell deep into the Alex Jones rabbit hole in 2016 to 2008. I was telling every person I know, the deep state is in charge of all this stuff. It made me depressed almost that so many people were not paying attention to this world-ending, cataclysmic whatever. By 2010, I pretty much realized that I'm going to be sad and upset and depressed if I pay attention to this. So I just kind of gave up. It wasn't until I saw Ron Paul come out of the woodwork in 2011, 2012 running for president that I realized that maybe, just maybe, this was a politician that actually said something that I thought was valuable. I donated to the Ron Paul campaign, the first presidential campaign I ever cared about or donated to in my entire life. When he got out of the race, I pretty much felt like it was over. Like, we're screwed forever. I paid attention to politics because I needed to understand how to be free, how to live and exist in this world and make money, understand the economy, invest in the stock market, and be a free person. I'm an independent entrepreneur. I need to know the ebbs and flows of the marketplace in order to understand how to navigate it, how to be free, how to be a potential thought leader one day. I needed to understand this very important thing. 2016, Donnie came around. At the very beginning of the year, I was like, Donnie is insane. This guy's a clown. Like, everybody hates him. I was watching The Daily Show with Jon Stewart every day. I thought Jon Stewart was so funny. I was all about it. And he was making fun of Donnie daily, and that was my source of information and news. I knew the Alex Jones stuff, but I didn't know to what extent it was true. So I watched The Daily Show. I thought Jon Stewart was hilarious. Eventually, as it started to gear up towards the election, it started to appear that he was a more viable candidate. I was like, wait a second. Why does everybody hate this dude so much? Why is every single person saying that this this guy is bad. And I started to pay attention. And as all of the different stuff happened leading up to the election, I realized that this guy was actually starting to do well. And I was like, no way they could let him in. No way he could slip by the deep state. No way that this guy could get through all this stuff that's been true for all these years and actually break through. And sure enough, at the very end, at the last second, he actually made it out. And I couldn't believe it. And I started paying attention to politics once again, watching the White House press secretary, watching the daily speeches that he gave as I sat here in my office right behind me, building websites. That's what I did. And I made videos leading up, and I watched all of the videos and paid attention while I built my business. It wasn't until 2020 that I watched that first night of the DNC that I made that video, even though I had spent the last 10 years paying attention to and caring about politics and also leading people on how to market and grow their business. So I knew how to build a social account, I knew how to build a website, I knew how marketing worked, and I had an unrelenting work ethic because I had to build this web development business by myself with no education when I was 21 years old. Now, over the course of the last year, I'm not perfect. I don't know. I've gone to Turning Point USA events. I went to CPAC once. I've attended some political rallies. And honestly, I don't really like politics that much. But I'm of the ilk where I believe that I want to do the most challenging thing. I want to do the thing that would be the greatest acknowledgement of my personal legend, of all the gifts that I've been given, a family that loves me, a good head on my shoulders, a background that allows me to exist in this world, in this digital world. And I was like, what if I was able to do this as my full-time job? How would I have to do it? I'd have to sell merchandise. I'd have to take donations. I'd have to sell badges. I'd have to figure out a way to do some type of live event, like some stand-up comedy shows or something. I'd have to find a way to have some sales material or some reason that they could buy. So I started doing things like cameos. I started putting up the merch on my site. I started doing drawings and whatever little thing that I could do to figure out a way to supplant all of my necessary web development income so that I could run this business. In the meantime, while I did that, I started investing in websites in the same way that I had been building websites for other people. So I would buy languishing old websites, basically like a rundown house, and I would repaint it, remodel it, redo the kitchen, reskin it so that it could generate cash flow again, and then rent it out. That's like a real estate analogy. So I started buying websites, and that website income was enough to keep me afloat while I tried to build this business entity. And then now cut to today. That's what I'm doing. I'm just a random dude from Connecticut that just made some videos and saw an opportunity. And now this Donnie DeSanta shit comes out and people are like, Bobby Sauce is controlled up. And I've heard people say this stuff before. And it's like, dude, I'm just a random dude. And all of you people that have been here since the very beginning understand what's going on here. 3 months ago, I spent $9,000 of cash on this extra phone. I bought an iPhone so I could live stream on TikTok while I do this. I bought an upgraded Samsung phone. You notice my videos get better. I bought all of this stuff that you see around me, including a $3,000 camera, several $100 lights, this microphone, $400, this connector over here, this arm, all of this different stuff, $250 worth of lights and whatnot. I paid my buddy to come here and set the whole thing up, invested all this money so that I could make sure that the podcasts were actually decent. I bought different props like horns and microphones and alien masks and different doodads and whatnot, tripods and such. And I've been traveling around to different events to see where I could get in, where I could fit in. I went to my first Turning Point event, and I didn't know anything about Turning Point. I had reshared some of their stuff online, but I thought they were cool. I was like, look, I got to realize that I've been an independent thinker and an independent driver for my entire life, and here's an opportunity to join a group of people that are collectively doing something that I generally tend to agree with 99 times out of 100. So I applied to be a Turning Point ambassador. I went to one of the events, and it didn't happen until 8.5 months later that they actually accepted me to be an ambassador. They never told me what to say. They never told me what to do. They never told me who I got to be. They never told me anything about my content, never gave me a problem, never said anything about anything ever once, not one time, ever. So this happened in, I don't even know, October of 2021. A month later was America Fest, the first major event, turning point event that I was going to as an ambassador. They pay for your flight to get out there, and they split a hotel room with you and another ambassador. They don't pay me any money to go there. They just ask that you go. So I went out to Phoenix, and I met a bunch of really awesome, amazing, America-loving people. Their message is good, not perfect. The people that I met are great, not perfect. I'm not perfect. And I was like, this is really awesome. Now, I was like, maybe they can team me up with some opportunities to speak on the stage. Maybe I can get some speaking opportunities in the breakout sessions. And then I went to the second Turning Point event in the summer of this year, and now it's America Fest again. Again, they never paid me anything. They never told me what to do. They never told me what to say. They never told me anything. They send us some merch every quarter. They say, come to the events and be cool with people. I meet people there. I meet a lot of people that love America. I have my gripes with every single thing that I see, just like any of you. That's how independent thinkers are. I've seen DeSanta speak multiple times. I've seen Donnie speak multiple times. I agree with a lot of the things that they say at Turning Point, and I disagree with some of the things they say. I went to CPAC. CPAC reminded me of the old boys club. I was like, this is weird, a weird zone. Turning Point is so much better of a political event than CPAC is. It's stuffy. It's older people. It's like you feel like you're a loser because you don't have $1 billion of donation money. You don't know the guy that knows the guy that knows the guy. And it's kind of just like it's like that political slime is just over the top of it. And it's not just CPAC. It's not even Republican. It's just in general. It's just there's darkness in there. And that's just the nature of it. Everybody's trying to get elected for this, that, or the other thing. You don't know who they're tied to or whatnot. There's thousands and thousands of moving parts. The same goes for Turning Point, CPAC, the Republican Party, whatever. But what I knew every single time is that I generally disagree with what leftist, progressive Democrats put out 99% of the time. I look at every single issue to this day, every single day. I read articles from both sides of the aisle. I follow Democratic people on Instagram, on social media, on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube. I watch and consume an inordinate amount of content from a number of people that I agree with sometimes and don't agree with other times. I've voted for Donnie twice. I support Donnie. I like Donnie. I think he was one of the greatest presidents in modern American history, not without fault. If he went to run again and he was the only person on the ticket, he got the Republican nomination, I would support him again. I would vote for him again. I like Ron DeSantis. I think he's been in touch with the people. I think he's done a great job in the state of Florida and had his finger on the pulse of society throughout this whole process. He's had the humility to admit that he was wrong, and he's done a really great job at managing the state of Florida. Take away his endorsement. Take away who put him on. Just talk about the measure of the man for what the man did. Period. And I've watched along with all of you and made videos documenting my every single thought and my every single opinion in a timely fashion so that I can talk about the thing that's on my mind at that time. Nobody's telling me what to say, what to put, what to do. No one's paying me for nothing. The only people that pay me are you. You are the only people that pay me. And the way that you pay me is you buy shirts like this on bobbysauce.com. You buy cameo videos for people on their birthday, their anniversary, or graduations or things like that. People make donations on Venmo and on Cash App, or they go on PayPal or whatever else, and they contribute to the cause. People have bought random things like signed posters and merchandise and random artwork that I've made. And I've met with a lot of people in person, not only at the events, but in real life. People are in my local area. They're like, hey, you want to get a drink? You want to meet up here? And I've met with people and had a lot of great conversations with really cool, awesome people as a result. I don't care. I'm not even thinking about what happened in the midterms because a lot of the stuff is, there's a lot of clownery engaged in all of that stuff. But I just looked at what Donnie said on Truth Social the other day, and I was like, I don't understand how this is helpful. You're going to come at one of the best governors in America, a person that you endorsed, that you said was the guy that everybody likes, that is voting, that is outranking and voting every single person that put a lot of election controls in to stop ballot harvesting and other things to secure the election in Florida. I don't understand why you would come out and talk about this guy and say he's a two-bit governor, he'd be nothing without me, blah, 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 blah. And then it's like all of these other networks and whatnot are all conspiring together to pour gas on the fire to get everybody to divide. But it's a thing that people are talking about. I'm like, I don't understand why he's doing this. I'm just looking at the one thing individually by itself in its own box and saying, I don't see how this is helpful. If Ron is some deep state establishment shill that's being paid by McConnell, and he lives upside down in a bush in a bush underneath a waterfall, and he's working secretly for the deep state. Okay, fine. Then why didn't he say that? Why didn't he say that? He just says, oh, he's a too big governor. He sucks. Okay. I'm just saying that there's a lot of people that pay attention to this stuff, and there's a lot of people that don't. And over the last 2.5 years, I've realized a lot of things about politics that I didn't understand before. Number one, no matter how much you pay attention and no matter how much time you dedicate, it's hard to get everything right. It's hard to understand exactly what's going on at any given time, especially in a timely manner. When you record yourself and put it out there, you're not only saying your opinion, but you're documenting it and allowing people to go access it later. I haven't deleted any content that I've made. I haven't deleted any live streams. It's all there. It's all out in the open permanently. So I look at this and I'm like, the people in my life that don't really pay much attention to politics are like, why is Donnie doing this? That sucks. And I'm like, geez, I'm here paying attention. I don't know why he said that. Yeah, if he's working with McConnell or whoever, and he's under a bridge underneath the waterfall and a pineapple under the sea. All right, fine. But the marketing sucks. The branding sucks. The messaging sucks. Why you got to do that to this dude? If you're competing with him, okay, fine, compete with him. Outwin him based on your ideas. Be the leader. You're the most widely recognized person in the entire planet. You have the ability to rise above all those things and prove it with policies and actions and whatever else. So I was like, this is no good. Now, then people are like, oh, he's pushing the GOP line. This guy's gaslighting us. He must be paid. He's some shill. He's some talking head. And the exact same people that seek to use my likeness and image to say, don't trust a person like Bobby Suck. He's some type of shill, are just using that to garner comments and views and shares on their own stuff. They're pumping their own book and using me as some type of example of how I'm this person that can't be trusted. When in reality, it's like, oh, but you can be trusted. I'm more than transparent. I'm more transparent than anybody. I don't even know. But it's like, name a person that's more transparent about what's going on than me. You see every single thing that I'm thinking about from day one, all documented live online. I talk about it on my stories. People have interacted with me in real time. I get 350 DMs a day. You people know I respond to a lot of them. I'm talking to people every single day, good, bad, or indifferent. I'm doing literally the best I can. I'm putting all my eggs and all my gas into this because I believe that it's a good thing. And I try to give my hot takes on the things that are happening and make it funny and digestible and shareable because I don't know how else to do it. This is just the best I got. I'm doing the best I can to do what I think I was put here to do at this given time. That's it. That's the summary of it. And it's just like, they're like, look how he reacts in this situation. He's a deep state. It's like, these people don't even know who I am. If you were paying attention to what I'm putting out from the jump, you know that I'm just trying to figure it out just like the rest of everybody else. And everybody has a hot take, and everybody's an expert all of a sudden, mysteriously. They somersault upside down out of a bush in the sky, and they're like, don't trust this guy. Meanwhile, their profile photo is like an upside down giraffe on roller skates, and they have 3 followers, 6,500 posts. It's like, who are you, bro? Who the fuck are you? But I can't be trusted, guys, because I'm sitting here by myself, shooting my videos by myself, making my videos by myself. After the stream ends, I'm going to download it, save it, put it on my computer, upload it, name it, title it, description it, post it on Patreon, YouTube, Facebook. I'm going to go on my other computer behind me and I'm going to make a thumbnail. I'm going to make a square version of a thumbnail and a horizontal version of a thumbnail. It's going to take me 20 minutes after this. I'm going to upload it, post it to my page, check the stats tomorrow on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Amazon. Just because that's what I do. And then tomorrow I'm going to wake up, I'm going to read all the articles, read all the headlines, look at all the stuff that all the other people are saying. I'm going to do the best that I can to make a 90-second video that's fun, enjoyable, shareable, and interesting. I'm going to go out on my front porch if it's a nice day or shoot it right here. Make sure that the angle is right, that the lighting is right. I bought soundproof padding on the roof so it didn't echo. I try to wear my shirt in every single video as much as I possibly can because that's the financing that keeps the channel going. So I can spend more time doing this instead of having a job or doing some other thing that would make me more money in the short term. So I take a pay cut to do it on purpose because I think it's a great thing and I like doing it. And then I'm going to fly out to Phoenix for America Fest and spend my time there meeting with people, shaking hands, and enjoying myself. I'm getting an opportunity to speak, to do some stand-up comedy routines. I'm going to be in Port Charlotte this week with Chad Prather, 5 shows in a row. Never in my entire life would I have thought I could do a stand-up comedy show. Yet Chad Prather gave me a shot right out of the gate, and here he is giving me opportunity to do 5 stand-up comedy shows with him. I'm working my ass off to prepare for this comedy show. The last one I spent 20 hours rehearsing to do a 20-minute set. And I do the same thing for this one. This time I'm lucky enough to do 5 shows. I'm working with Terry McNeely and Mike Merck to do 3 comedy shows in Florida next month in December. One's in Port Charlotte, or one's in Wesley Chapel, Florida, which is the Tampa area. One's at Harry Buffalo in Orlando, and then one's in Boca Raton at the Boca Black Box. I don't know how many people are going to buy tickets to these shows. I hope a bunch of people. I'm going to market it, try to convince people to go, and I'm going to put my absolute everything into trying to make these a fun, enjoyable thing so I could keep building this channel. And people are going to come at me and say all this stuff about how I'm X, Y, and Z, and I don't give a shit. And if they want to chirp me in the comments or follow me or DM me or whatever or repost my videos, go for it. But I'll tell you this, I don't give a shit who I block. If you want to talk some shit on me, I will hit the block button and not give 2 fucks forever. And I'll never see your face again for the rest of my fucking life. You want to talk about it? Go for it, dude. I could give 2 fucks about it because everybody that pays attention understands what I'm really doing here. Everybody that's been paying attention from the jump knows that this is my whole everything. This is my whole heart. I'm giving it everything I got. That's it. That's the only way. I got 2 speeds, 100 miles an hour and 0. And that's the end of it. Everybody that's been paying attention from the jump knows that that's exactly what I do. I do the best that I can. I put as much as I can into it. Anybody that's been out there making content knows how difficult it is to actually grow a following, to keep that following going. And if you stop posting for 10 days, 7 days, 6 days, people are like, where are you at? What happened? Where you go? You start to lose followers. It's a constant juggling match. On top of that, you get censored, you get flagged. My TikTok account has been getting warnings every day. I've been posting on there for the last year. I have 100,000 followers. And they say every single time if I get flagged that they'll delete my account and take it away. On Instagram, I've poured so much of my life into this to get 146,000 followers or whatever, and constantly getting threats from these platforms to deplatform me. I got to create words and phrases to dance around the thing. I got to figure out how to not include the word in the headline. Instead of saying this, I got to say that. Instead of this description, I got to say this. I got to figure out different ways to do it. On top of that, you got to innovate the comedy. You got to figure out how to not offend people. You got to figure out how to make a video that's interesting, digestible, funny, informative, truth to the point that you're willing to stand on and put your neck on the line for. And then you got to be willing to put in all of that work, not only to do the research to know that your take is right, but then deal with the potential backlash and recourse, what happens afterwards. That's what I'm doing every single day. That's what I'm doing. And any person that follows along for a single man operation that's just doing the best he can, I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of it. So it's like, say whatever you want, repost whatever you want. I don't care. Think anything you want about me. But at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, at the end of the quarter, at the end of the year, at the end of the decade, you better believe that I'm going to be right here doing the same shit. That's it. So it's like, say whatever you want. I don't care. And like, I anticipate and expect that. I've lost friends. I've got people I've got family members and close relationships that won't talk to you anymore, that will not consider you to be at the same level that they were before. People that don't hang around with you anymore, places that you can't go, people that'll unfollow you quietly, people that'll talk shit in the corner, don't care. Because I believe that the purpose is of a greater significance. In fact, in my entire web development business and every single thing I've ever done for my entire life, every entrepreneurial, everything I've ever done ever, I've never felt that anything has as much purpose as this. Am I going to be right every time? No. Am I going to be funny every time? No. Am I going to hit on every single thing I try? No. But what I'm not afraid to do is fail in front of you, because that's a young man's game. Young men are afraid of failing in front of people. Young men are afraid of taking swings and missing. I'm not, because whether I like it or not, I'm going to die one day. And I want to know that when I die, at least people know, and at least they can see that I did the best that I can to try to put my imprint and my understanding and my digestion of the world and hopefully make it a better place by changing the way that people think, which is what I think personally is one of the most impactful things that I can do. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm doing it in this way that I've found to be the right angle at the right time with the right message, with the right information so that it's digestible, shareable, and you take a complicated situation and make it relatively simple so that people start thinking for their own and doing things outwardly that will ultimately make the world a better place. I'd like to believe that the elections are fair. I'd like to believe that they're not harvesting these. I'd like to believe all of this stuff. But it seems like every single day, the more research that you see, the more stuff that you see going on, the more connections, the more random acts, the more obvious it seems that there's a lot of dark energy that's in control of what's going on here. And it's very, very bad. I'm not going to sit here and say, don't go vote or go vote. It matters. It doesn't matter. I'm doing the best I can to figure it out. But it certainly looks like there's a whole lot of fuckery going on in all of these things. So when I look at somebody like Donnie, I look at it from a marketing and branding standpoint. And it doesn't mean that everything that he hasn't done hasn't been good, some not great. I just looked at it and I'm like, this doesn't seem helpful right now. That's it. That's all I said. Because the marketing and the branding of the freedom-loving, patriotic, independent thinking, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to do the best I can to give my take on whether or not what's happening is effective or not. Imperfect, not great, whatever. There's so many things that Donnie did that are tremendous, great, legendary, uncovered the truth about so many things, brought so many people into the fray. But he also had plenty of mistakes. Operation Blob Speed, shutting down things, telling people like Governor Kemp in Georgia to not open up the state, giving him a hard time. Dream Rare talks about this, and I align with his view of this more than anybody else out there. I honestly think Anomaly has one of the best takes, informative-based takes of anybody on the entire internet, and I look up to his quality of content in an extremely high regard because he's been calling it out straight from the jump. A lot of people don't believe what they're saying about the juice is good. This guy pushed it. You can see what happened with Faisal donating to him, and then you put Alex Azar at the head of HHS. You put a big pharmaceutical lobbyist at the head of HHS. Not a good look. RFK Jr. might have been a better candidate for this. You got him coming at people like Thomas Massey and Kemp in Georgia for opening up too early, saying Thomas Massey is no good. You got the speech laws, which Anomaly talks about ad nauseum. Go and look at what Anomaly talks about as it relates to the speech laws. And Donnie and DeSanta did the same thing. So that's not good. These people are not without fault. But what I realize the difference between the left and the right is the GOP and the DNC or whatever you even want to call it. I'm just a person. Is that they stick together. They figured out that we'll all be demons together. We'll focus our attention on who's the opponent, and then they win the battle because they don't come at each other. They don't spar amongst each other. That's why when you look at Democratic primaries, they're winning 80-20. Yet you look at a Republican primary, it's like 59-53. It's like it's always so close. So it's like, dude. So I looked at that and I'm like, yo, you're really gonna come out there and say that? Why don't you say, if you're gonna say it, if you're gonna come at Big Ron, why don't you say it in a formal way that explains why you did it? I don't know the underlying situation that brought him to that conclusion. I don't know. I don't know any more than you do. I'm trying to stay to the pulse, but there's only so much that a person can know. And I'm like, this just isn't good. And here's a person that spends 40 hours a week paying attention to this stuff, talking about it, thinking about it. It's like if I'm in 40 hours a week and I don't know, the guy that's in 4 hours a week, the gal that's in 4 hours a week, 4 hours a month, that cares, votes for Donnie, likes DeSantis, whatever, that person's confused right now. So then they're like, oh, like, is he a deep state shield? Is he McCarthy, Rhino? They're all bad. Most of them are bad. It's just who's not as bad. So it's like, I'm not going to go through my entire life complaining about it and not trying to make some effect on how I can change it. I'm not going to go my whole life believing that it's in the bag and we might as well just get on our knees and grab our ankles and open up our dirt store so they can park their truck in there. I'm just going to do the best I can to figure out and navigate my way around it. I got to figure out how to generate an income so I don't have to do other tasks, so I can spend my time doing this, even though I do it disproportionately to the amount of income that it generates. Because this is what I want to do. This is what I like to do. This is what I feel like I'm good at doing. And because of the support of people like you, that's the only reason why the channel even exists. I'm expecting there to be inbound questioning, hatred, whatever. People saying X, Y, and Z. I'm over that stuff. You did that to me when I was 20 years old. Maybe it would have got me. But now, could care less. But what I am going to do, if people are suggesting that I'm X, Y, or Z, is I'm going to make a very clearly, well-articulated, and eloquent explanation of how we got here, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and you be the judge. Am I the one that can't be trusted? Yeah, you shouldn't trust me. You shouldn't trust me any more than you should trust anybody else. But if you're going to say that I'm not trying to go outward about every single thing I could be transparent about at any given time all the way through, I don't know how to do any better than this. So it's like, I don't like a lot of the stuff that Donnie did. If I had to pick him v. DeSantis right now, I would probably say I would choose DeSantis simply because of those reasons. I didn't like the blob speed. I didn't like the stuff with Thomas Massey. I didn't like the stuff with Kemp. I didn't like how Fauci had this platform. I didn't like how we went to D.C. in January, and he's like, you come there, and there's a big reveal, guys. It's going to be a big reveal. And everybody got led into a honeypot trap, and they've been languishing in prison for the last some odd years. Yet all we can talk about is how good the juice is. These people are political prisoners. They're political prisoners. And it's like, he's not talking about that. He's not talking about the rules that were put on these people and all these shutdowns. And I feel like over the course of the last 2 years, Donnie's lost a little bit of his touch for the pulse of society. Now, they've shut him down on social. They've shut him down on the internet. They've suppressed his language, and he did the best he could to create true social, so he had a place to come out there. And the guy's been taking shots from every direction forever. And I think that he's a great American. I think he cares about the country. I think generally speaking, he means well and has done well through and through on almost every single thing he's done. Foreign policy has been impressive. The way that he calls people out has been impressive. But whatever the strategy is right now, you got to switch it up. And that's just me. It's just my opinion. No one's telling me to think that. I don't have a through line to Charlie Kirk. TPUSA is not chirping in my ear. The GOP doesn't even know who I fucking am. So it's like, okay. Nobody's telling me to do shit but me. I'm the only person that's doing this. I'm the only person that's paying attention to it. I'm the only person that's responsible for the words that come out of my face hole. So it's like, if you don't like that, that's fine. I would hope that you don't agree with me. Great. And people are like, oh, turncoat, they're turning on Donnie. The white hats are in charge. It's like, shut up. You guys are living in a fucking dream world of fucking magic. People are upside down in a fucking bush, and they're looking at this, and they're like, he must be some GOP plan. Not everything is controlled op, you fucking psychos. Not everybody is controlled op. Not everybody is some shill. Not everybody is some paid plant. People are like doing this shit. They're like, November 15th, if you divide it by 36, but divided by Sam Bankman-Fried, upside down, and you translate it into Mandarin, and then you flip it upside down and look at it through a lens, flip it the other way, put it on your camera, project it up on the wall, light it on fire, do a somersault into the grass. It says Donnie and the white hats are in charge. It's like, what the fuck are you? Get a hobby. Like, get a hobby. Literally get a hobby. Like, literally locate, like, donde está your hobbies, because what the fuck are you talking about? Don't trust this guy. Trust me. I have an upside down giraffe emoji on a skateboard. Snowboarding, isn't that crazy? Snow, skate, upside down, GOP, pharma shill, the white hats are in charge. Everybody's turning on Donnie, guys. It's a conceited effort. Look, even the Lincoln Project. Shut the fuck up. So many idiots. So many clueless sad boys. Mindlessly lining up to blow Donnie no matter what he fucking says ever. How about you fucking maybe look at this shit from an objective lens and stop blowing this dude all day, every day. The man is imperfect. Shut the fuck up. I'm so sick of people saying that shit. This is a game, you idiots. This is a marketing and branding game. You have to win the game. I'm so sick of people just mindlessly blowing any single thing that comes out of his face. I've already made my position clear about Donnie. Every single thing that he did, for the most part, was great. If he was on the ballot, he was the candidate, I'd vote for him again. I like DeSantis a lot. I think, generally speaking, the branding and marketing message is better. Nobody's telling me to say it. Nobody's paying me to say it. I don't give a shit what your opinion is. I'm just saying what I think. I'm a person that really cares about this. So I'm giving it my take. I really liked Donnie before. I still like him now. But this thing, whatever it is, and maybe the truth will come out, and maybe the white hats are in charge, and maybe he's in a pineapple under the sea. But if you make all of these missteps that are turning people off that generally we would need in order to get to the promised land, in order to get to the place where we could actually win and not have these demons take control of the country we love so much, maybe you'd think twice about saying that the most popular governor in America is some half-wit, two-bit shill. And if you're gonna say that, maybe tell us why, bro. Maybe say why he's so bad. Say he's colluding with McConnell. Say he's with McCarthy. Say he's upside down in a pineapple under the sea. Don't just say he sucks and he'd be nothing without me. There's a lot of people that he endorsed that didn't get anywhere near DeSantis. That's not Ben Shapiro saying it. It's not Crowder saying it. It's not Charlie Kirk saying it. It's not TPUSA. It's not the GOP. It's not any fucking person. It is me, Bobby Sauce. That's my take. I don't care what anybody else says. It's just like, and then they're like, and then people are like, these Republican influencers. I'm not a Republican influencer, motherfucker. I'm just a person. I'm not a fucking Republican influencer. I'm not a Republican dick. I'm nothing. I'm not anything Republican. I just generally believe that the people in the Republican Party do a better job at creating a team that can potentially change the world in a better way and gear our country towards what I believe is better. I'm not a Republican nothing. I don't give a fuck about the GOP. If they didn't do things that I agreed with, I wouldn't vote that way. I'd vote for an upside down giraffe on rollerblades if that's what it was. I'd vote for the bag of dicks party if they were talking about the thing that I wanted to talk about. If I didn't agree with what Turning Point was doing and I thought that they were bad or I thought that they were evil, I'd fucking leave. It's not like I'm collecting a paycheck from them. I like Turning Point. I think they do a great job. I think that they do a fantastic job. Of course, they could do a better job. So could everybody. So could I. So could you. And you're lying if you say you're not. But I like Turning Point. I think that the people that work there are great and well-meaning. I think that the events that they throw are fantastic. I think the fact that they're uniting the youth, which is the most crucial aspect of this whole game, really, which we've seen point blank, is important. I went to a college campus and I spoke to some really awesome college kids. They've paid for my flight to go up there and the hotel. They didn't pay me to do it. I was up there for 3 days to speak to a room of 30 people because I believe that that's the right thing to do. Turning Point gave me the opportunity to meet those cool people. That's it. I'm not some paid shill. I went around the campus and I hung flyers up at the campus just because that's what I wanted to do. And there was a couple people that came. We were sitting at a table in the lobby of the cafeteria, and people were going by scowling at us. I don't care. I want to try to help change these people's minds. Nobody was paying me to do it. I didn't have to do any of that. That's just what I wanted to do. Some person was like, "You're a hacktivist." I was like, "What does that even mean?" Like, come talk to me. As this dude went away in Minneapolis, it's like, we all have to try to contribute in our own little way. And this just happens to be the best way that I know how to do it. I like Turning Point. I like being associated with them. I think they do a great job. Not perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. I think the GOP makes tons of blunders. I think there's a lot of things that they could do better. I think that their connection with the youth is bad. I think some of their policies are good and some of them aren't good. Everything is imperfect, but you got to realize that you got to pick a team, so to speak. You got to figure out a faction, because even though there's a lot of good things that are happening, there's a lot of bad things that are happening. The fight never ends. It's ongoing. It's a culture war. It's a mental war. It's a mind game. How could I affect the world in the most ways? Maybe it's just making a podcast jarring about political stuff. Maybe it's going out there and running for president myself. Maybe I run for governor of Florida. I don't know. I'm just doing the best I can at any given moment to give you guys my honest, unfiltered, unmotivated take on whatever. People like Anomaly, people like Dreamer that have been doing this for years before me. This dude is well read. This dude is well better informed. There's a lot of things that he knows that I don't know. That's why I watch his stream, because I really love what he has to say. That's why I was so excited to meet him in person and so excited that he started to follow me and other people that have followed me. It's like, when people draw these random conclusions in their head about how they think the world is, and they think every single thing is controlled op conspiracy dictated to by some other entity, you're going to spin yourself into a spiral out of reality. I'm your enemy now? I'm your enemy because I didn't get on my knees and blow Donnie because he said some shit I didn't think was right at the moment? Okay, I've only made fucking 500 times as many videos trying to encourage people to vote for Donnie than you fucking have. But I'm the one who's not a Donnie shill, but you're somehow better. Get a fucking grip. It's like you can see in my content from day one, my shit's as clear as day. It's an open book. You can meticulously analyze every single thing I've ever said. There was times where I believed it was right, but after January, I was like, this is not good. There's a lot of things that happened here that were not as I thought they were going to. You got to believe a guy if he says this is going to happen. I'm 100% sure. I will be the president. I'm 100% sure. Wrong. What? So what? He's infallible forever? So it's like everybody has an opinion, and everybody's like, these Republican, Derek, you're a Republican crybaby. Crybaby? Who the fuck's crying? No one's crying. If I point out something that I think is bad, am I a crybaby because I'm pointing out the truth as I see it? Or are you just using that as some way to blow Donnie? Oh, that's your take. I'm not burning anybody else down. I'm not trying to burn some other person down because they're saying X, Y, or Z. Not until now. Not until I'm reacting to it now. But everybody has some hot take about how you're gonna spin us into a web, and you want to call it the GOP, you want to call it the party, you want to call it Republicans, you want to call it conservatives. I'm just saying the people that generally believe that this shit is corrupt as fuck. The people that generally believe that more freedom and less taxes is good. The people that believe that universal basic income and universal health care is dog shit. The people that really love America through and through. The people that believe that a kid should be allowed to be a kid and you shouldn't lop off their Pen 15 like a fucking demon. That's who I'm talking about. You want to call it the conservative, Republican, GOP, call it whatever you want. I'm just saying, generally speaking, people tend to be in this camp, and you need a name for them. So there's the name. It's the Republican Party. It's the party. It's the people. It's the conservative. You could call it whatever you want. Everybody gets lost in this minutia of words, but words are the most manipulated things in our current culture. It's the most manipulated, twisted, bent thing. Now everybody's just ripping on each other and zipping and zapping about DeSantis and whatever else, and they're burning our own bridge. And I don't mean our bridge like the GOP. I'm just talking about people that generally believe what I just fucking said. You want to call them giraffes? Call them giraffes. I don't care. But it's like, I'm doing the best I can, and so is everybody else. And people are just like, yeah, hot take from my bush. I'm taking a dump at work. Here's my hot take. Don't trust this guy. What is he selling, marriage? What is he worth? Shut up. It's like, your opinion is hot garbage. But all right, yeah, congrats. And people will be like, no, look at this. It's like, all right, I'm not saying my opinion is any more valid than anybody else, but 300,000 people happen to follow this account. I didn't make them follow the account. I didn't pay them to follow the account. They just made shit that people liked and trusted. Some people came, some people went, some people stuck around. If 300,000 people, maybe there's some overlap, 200,000, whatever you want to call it. If obviously 300,000 people think that whatever I have to say is of some value. I'm not saying that it's any more valuable than it is. This is just what I'm doing. The people have spoken. I don't make the rules, but it's just like these conservative influencers need to fall in line. It's like, I don't have to do shit. I'm not a Republican, nothing. I'm just a person that loves America. That's it. So chirp all you want. So now it's like, now I'm going to jump into the comments because I see some people chirping already. Because Diane on Facebook, hot take Diane, because you snorted America first. Now you bailed like a little girl. Sick Diane, sick hot take. Yeah, I really bailed on America. Yeah, I got an American flag on my shirt. They got 6 of them all around me. I'm on here making videos every single day about it. But yeah, I bailed on America first. Give me a break. Diane, sorry, I'm done following you. Then leave, Diane. You think I give a shit? Bye. Who cares? But it's like people have this artificial sense of entitlement. Like I need to care what your opinion is. I'm just doing the best I can. So sorry. And it's like when you work real hard at something and you do the best that you can and people chirp you with these hot takes, it's like, I'm supposed to care that you're going to unfollow me? Just unfollow me. I don't care. I really could care less. Yeah, Wenster, dude. This guy's an egg distributor. This guy's pro egg. Can't be trusted. Obviously, deep state. But it's just like, this is the thing. If one was to be a person that other people know, like, and trust, that other people looked up to as a person that was a zero BS source of information, it will not come without criticism, and it will not come without people questioning their thing. I don't want anybody to agree with every single thing that I have to say, but I'm doing the best that I can. I don't know how to do it any better than this. I'm putting in as much as possible. So it's just like, okay, for every person that has some hot opinion, it's like, I dare you to make another video about me. I would love it. I would love nothing more for you to make 1,000 videos about me. Talk about me every single day. But also understand that I don't have to pay attention to what you have to say. And if you want to come in the chat or you want to DM me or you want to chirp me and whatever, I have absolutely no problem pressing block and never seeing you again for the remainder of my time on the planet. At the very beginning, I was like, oh, everybody should get a chance to speak. Everybody. And it's just like, people abuse that. It's like, okay, I don't care. So it's like, yeah, I will happily block you. Could care less about it. This is not the everybody gets a voice show. It's just this show. It's the Bobby Sauce show. Do whatever you want with it. And it's like, the other thing too is that I understand that 99% of every hot take that people comment online, number one, they would never in a million years say it to my face. Never. Wouldn't say it to anybody's face, in fact. And that a lot of people are hurting on the inside. A lot of people are sad. They're projecting their lack of self-respect, their lack of confidence in themselves and their own ability to come out and be on the other side of the camera. So they hide quietly on TikTok and chirp you in the comments. They DM you. Some of them are brave enough to put their face out there. Yet what they don't understand is that when you're being super transparent about all the stuff, maybe you might make a mistake. Maybe somebody's going to criticize you for X, Y, or Z. It's part of the process. It's part of the game. But it's just like, I don't care how many people write comments or DM me. These things are impenetrable. But I will make it very clear that this is what I'm trying to do. I can't stop them. I don't want to stop them. But just know that I'm giving you my honest take through and through from the jump without any other influence or any other person pulling the strings. That's the beauty of being an entrepreneur. That's the beauty of being an independent thinker. I speak like this because I believe that I have more ability to do it than your average person. I don't have a boss that I have to be beholden to. I don't have my kids in a school where the principal could say, I don't like his political beliefs. We're going to kick them out. I'm in this unique place where I can do whatever I want. And thanks to the support of you, the viewers and the visitors and the followers and whatever, and my friends, it gives me the ability to do that. And when I joined TPUSA as an ambassador, they have done absolutely nothing but try to help me grow the distribution of my message without any influence on what I say, do, or anything. They have never one single time said anything about a single piece of content I have ever put out, ever. So it's like, sorry if you don't like it. Sorry if you think that I'm colluding with the DeSantis camp. I'm being paid by some super PAC or some shit. It's like, I don't even know how that would even work. But it's like, do you think I'd be collecting $5 badges on Instagram and thanking every single person for them individually, even if somebody Venmos me $1. You think I'd be doing that if I was getting some secret upside down paycheck from some super PAC? It's like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm like, and it's like, I appreciate everybody so much that they take their time to do that. So I try to give them every single thing that I can back, and that's it. So I want to start going into the questions because I like interacting with the people that follow the channel. I think it's one of the secret sauce. It's some of the secret sauce of why this channel has grown to the place that it has. So if anybody has any questions, if you want to go into the comments, I'm happy to answer any questions and try to explain any other things that I've got while I'm here. Also, thank you to the people that have been buying badges. I really appreciate it. Thanks to everybody on Instagram for the badges. Cheech, 1973, Lana Liberty, Ash Dev 8, On the 10s, Leo's Lion, MJ Torkel, Holistic Wellness from Within, Chichi 8, Monadel, SPRDLV, Jables 1988, and LE2. Thank you guys so much for the badges on Instagram. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Angela, on Facebook for the comment. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Ronald. Appreciate it. Thank you, Denise and Mary and Donnie and Gail. Appreciate it. Gina said, I could have missed it, but did you talk about FTX? I have not talked about FTX yet, but I think that a lot of people have been doing really great coverage on that. I will go more in depth in it, but I feel like a lot of people have been doing a lot of really good coverage on that. To me, it seems like a very, very clear big blue money laundering operation gone wrong. You got Dollar Bill Clinton in there. You got all these demons in there. I think they're going to use it to push for regulation for crypto, which I've been saying since day one. I said that at the very beginning. You could look at the debates I've had with Otto Gomes on here, where I'm like, dude, all it's going to happen is one thing's going to zip, and they're going to say, oh, you got to regulate it. And then there's literally the single most important value prop that crypto comes with is eliminated by these demons. It's like, yeah, they're going to let a bunch of people on their computer just somehow topple the world's financial system. It's like, yeah, I believe that. Thank you, Artistry by Jennifer. I think it's a Ponzi scheme, and I think a lot of it is going to end up going to zero, and a lot of people are going to get bamboozled. And just like as predicted, now they're going to go and beg for more control and more regulation, which would have stopped absolutely nothing. People are saying Kerry Lake lost Arizona. Yeah, isn't that coincidental and interesting how the race that took 8 extra days or whatever, and there's black bags in the thing, and all this other mysterious suspect behavior seems great, but you can't even talk about it. It's how you could tell me that Katie Hobbs, beat her fair and square, is mind blowing to me. It's just all part of the game. It's all part of the game, and until ballot harvesting and all the other stuff and all the other bamboozlery that they participate in, until that's fixed, we're screwed. Somebody said, "Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist." Yes, I am a conspiracy theorist. Yes, because I think outside the box. A conspiracy is just more than one person working together for a common goal. A theory is a thought about what you believe might be true. Yeah, I like to think about what things are. Prism just said, do you listen to Andy Frisella? I was on his podcast, episode 100. It's called Bamboozled. No, you're a conspiracy observer. Yeah, exactly. And like I made a video about Katie Hobbs versus Kerry Lake in terms of numbers like a week ago. It's like you're talking 50x numbers or more on social media alone. All the presence on all the news outlets. Like what demon is out there voting for Katie Hobbs? I can't even imagine it. So it's just total bamboozlery. And we're watching it play out in real time, and it's tremendously sad. But if I knew what to do, if I knew something other than what I'm doing to do, I can guarantee you that I would be doing it. That's the thing. It's like everybody has to participate in their way. I've figured out a way to distribute a message that gets viewed multi-million times a month. That's my skill set. I know how to build websites and merch. I know how to do those things. I know how to drop ship merchandise. That's what I know how to do. The next person that doesn't know how to do that, maybe doesn't want to get on in front of camera, maybe they start a podcast. They don't like using their voice, whatever. Maybe they go participate in local elections. Maybe they ballot count. Maybe they ballot box watch or whatever. Maybe they go and cure ballots. I don't know. Maybe they participate. Maybe they become be in comms for a local politician. Maybe they get involved in their local school board, run for school board. Everybody has to do their own piece. My piece, what I have discovered to be my gift, talent, whatever you want to say, is keep content that's interesting and captivating, get people to laugh, hopefully, create information that's digestible, consumable, and shareable so that I can grow the message through small, short, comedic quips. That's what I figured out to do. I'm doing the best I can. And any person that's met me in real life or knows me or has been following along since the jump knows that I've been an open book about this from the beginning. If I'm some GOP establishment upside down shill that lives in a pineapple under the sea, I'm doing a fucking good job of acting, guys. I don't know. I should have an Oscar. I should be in the Ukraine with Prezi t-shirt giving my Oscar with what's his guts. Like, I'm doing a heck of a bang up job. I'm just like leading you guys on this big, like, that's how you know. Like, and like somebody will clip out that thing and be like, look, he's an actor. It's like, yeah, I guess. Yeah, sure. Thank you, Denise. Denise says, I've been watching you since day one. Yeah, I should have Sean Penn's Oscar. Yeah, Prezi t-shirt. Yeah, and then like you got sad boys in the comments on TikTok. Yeah, you're hurting inside. Like your dad loves you. Don't worry. Like your dad loves you. He cares about you. He wants you to have a better life. The meatloaf is almost ready. No, people are like, who made Trump? I'm not giving any gas to anybody that made any videos. It's not even about that. It's just people saying Republican, conservative influencers, whatever. It's like, I'm just saying everybody has a take. So I'm not talking about anybody. I don't need to do that. But everybody has a veggie tray, crudité. But everybody just has like a super hot take. So it's like, cool. Yeah, have your hot take. People are like, I used to follow take naps, but he should go take a nap. Oh, sick burn. You're the first person that's written that. He should take a nap. Oh, God, that hits me right in the grundle. What did they say? Go take a nap? Sick burn. If we were on the middle school playground, I'd be crying right now from that one. Go take a nap. No. A nap? No. Good night. What made me decide to start speaking up? That's what I talked about at the beginning. I didn't think that I could. I just was frustrated by it, and the people in my social circle didn't seem to care with the same veracity that I did. I was paying attention to politics, and I'd be in a social situation. I was working this chair right here and this computer right behind me. This is my life. I sat here for the last 10 years 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, building websites, working by myself. I had employees in here at a time, and I had to fire all of them because I was not good at managing people. And I've been independent, which means that I've spent most of my days in the last 12 years in this office by myself, grinding, building websites alone with my dog. And that's all I did. And then I would go into a social situation because I didn't have people at the office. I would join kickball leagues and I would go to the gym and meet people there. But it's like I didn't have I'm not in a social situation every day. So when I was in a social situation, I'd be like, yo, are you guys seeing what's going on here? And nobody wanted to talk about it. Nobody cared. And I was like, I was so frustrated by the fact that I cared so much about this that I felt like I was watching the country that I love so much erode right in front of my face that I didn't know what else to do. So I just made a video to get it off my chest. And then the marketplace spoke. The marketplace said, hey, this guy is funny. Let's give him a chance. And that was you guys. So it's like, I'm so thankful. So it's like, a reputation can be created over many, many years and destroyed in a moment. It's like, don't people see how important that is? there were people that loved X person up until a certain point where they said the wrong thing, did the wrong thing, and they'll bail like that. Don't you think that increases in sensitivity when you got 300,000 people following you? If I had a bad take more than once in a row, people would be ripping on it. It's like, I'm trying the best that I can. And I'm seeing all these people chirping about X, Y, and Z people and tagging me in these videos like conservative influencers. They're really rhinos. They bailed on Donnie. I didn't bail on Donnie. It's like these people don't even know what they're talking about. A lot of times, like I said, because they're projecting themselves inside. They're like, the easiest thing to do is target some external person and blame them. I don't blame Donnie for what happened in the midterms. I don't even think what the midterms was even all that bad all the way through. There was a lot of things that were bad, but I don't blame Donnie. I'm not following some mainline narrative. I'm not listening to what I see on OAN or Fox News or whatever else and saying, oh, here's my opinion. I'm going to draw this conclusion. No, I'm just doing it myself. And as I've said ad nauseum, and people don't seem to care about paying attention to shit that's actually said with actual words. It's like, I'm like, this one thing, just this thing, not all things, this individual, one single individual thing, here's what it is. And people are still like, nah, turncoat. It's like controlled op. It's like, not everything is controlled op, psycho. I'm just a human person. But hello. It's just like, you can't, like, everything's not controlled op, super PAC funded inside a watermelon 6 leagues under the sea in the Marianas Trench. It's like, people are just people that maybe you disagree with. Okay, yeah. I never would have thought that I would have made any video that was anti anything that Donnie had said or did. But after January, I was like, oh man, like that was not good. After promises made and promises not kept repeatedly over time and a couple of blunders, I'm like, that is not good. If every person that goes against him that doesn't kiss the ring is now a piece of shit, and when he endorsed them a year ago, it's like, dude, I don't know that this strategy plays. I get it, but I don't know that plays. Joe Byron managed to maybe, whatever, get all these people's support by saying nothing. So it's like, you know, it's like, maybe there's a different strategy that would work. I don't know what it is, but I'm doing the best I can. And it's like, I pride myself as being a good communicator, so I'm doing the best that I can to communicate complicated situations and complicated things in a way that's digestible to people. And I sit here on lives for 2 hours at a clip and try to feel people out and tell them how I'm thinking about something. If I can't make it in a 5-minute or 10-minute video, that's what the purpose of the live is for. And then people can go listen to it at their own time, on their own pace. And that's it. Someone said, Kelly said, it's funny that the right is mad about mean tweets when it's against a politician they like, LOL. No, we're not mad about mean tweets. And it's not just a politician that we like. You're simplifying it and losing point of the context. Ron DeSantis, whether you like him or not, is objectively the best governor in America, or one of the best. He's had a long series of policies that have made this state a very good state. He's did a bunch of things to maintain election integrity. He's talked about the right things at the right time. He stood against the mandates. He hired the right person to lead the health initiative in the state of Florida. He's done a great job throughout these hurricanes. He's fought back against the mainstream media. He's done a great job. It's not mean tweets about a person that I like. That's oversimplifying simplifying it. Like I can be swayed by some emotional comment. Like all of us are just so fucking stupid that we can't figure out that, oh, no, it's a mean tweet. It's someone I like. Oh no, I'm going to turn on them. Like we're that fucking dumb. Like we've just been sitting here for the last 2 years trying to figure all this shit out, take complicated situations and make them digestible, reading and consuming this shit and talking about it every single day for fucking 6 days a week, 40 hours a week, and pumping out thousands upon thousands of videos. And then if he writes one tweet about Ron DeSantis, all of a sudden I just go off the rails because it's a mean tweet I don't like. How could you possibly simplify it to something that's that basic? It's like basically what you're saying is you're too stupid to have any take if somebody comes at a person that you like. That's what you're saying in that comment. You're too stupid to figure this out. It's like, okay, maybe you're too stupid to understand every single thing that I just said for 90 minutes straight. It's like, what are you saying? I couldn't possibly look past it. It's just like, how are you, like, you're going to think Donnie is just an infallible kingmaker? The dude's made mistakes. Is he going to be better than DeSantis? I have no idea. Is he better than him overall? I have no idea. As I said 100 times, it's like I would still vote for Donnie if he was the pick. I like a lot of the things that he did. There's a lot of things he did I don't like. There's things I like that DeSantis did, most of them, but there's some things that I don't like. They're both imperfect, but they're generally speaking better than the other. So if you have two people that are pretty good, for them to be going here is probably generally not good for people that generally assign to this side of the understanding of these very complicated things, while the other side is eating our fucking lunch about X, Y, and Z thing. And some people, influencers, these are just people. It's like, oh, the Republican influencers. It's like, I'm just a person. I'm not sitting around a table with all these. It's like, all right, Republican influencers, which direction do we go today? We're just independent people. Some people are friends with each other, but it's like, nobody's chirping me about what to say. Meanwhile, what happened in January and all these people that are languishing in prison and all the stuff that happened as a result of this juice, it's like Donnie's not talking about those things. Donnie's not talking about what happened as a result of us being in a biomedical nanny state as a result of this fucking juice. And if you want to say that he's an infallible object because he did X, Y, and Z and he saved us from the Spanish flu, fine. If you want to believe that, believe that. But I'm not going to sit here and act like that wasn't a fucking mistake that caused a lot of problems. So it's like, all right, he's better than anyone. Maybe. Was he better than DeSantis? I don't know. Maybe. We don't know the foreign policy of what DeSantis is going to do. Would he make mistakes? Perhaps. But what I'm saying is, and what I see is in the middle of the road, the people that don't fucking pay attention as much, the independents which ultimately sway the vote, the 20 million American citizens, 50 million American citizens that don't even vote at all. If there was a way for there to be an election that actually has any integrity, you got to convince those people to go and vote. You got to convince those people to pay attention to what's going on. And if the leader of the free world is like, this guy's a loser, it's like, that's not a good fucking marketing strategy. You don't have to be a genius to look at that and say, that shit's probably not a good look right now. You can't just be like, Rosie O'Donnell's a pig. It's like, be above that. That's stupid. And so many people will completely negate every single thing that you say forever because you engage in that dumb shit. And it really worked really well in 2016. And he crushed it for the first 3.5 quarters of the game. But in the fourth quarter, when it really mattered, he got zapped. Does that mean that DeSantis wouldn't have been? I have no idea. But if you're just going to sit there and act like he was flawless to the very, very end, I don't know what to tell you, dude. But yeah, keep mindlessly regurgitating what makes you feel like you're part of the good boy club and go and say that. I'm not taking away from anything he said. I'm just saying, is this the best marketing strategy going forward? Maybe. Probably not, Bill, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. And it's like, if the take wants to be like, oh, look, he's having this like emotional reaction. It's like, I'm just saying, it's like, I really care about this stuff. It's something that I really pay a lot of attention to. I really care about it a lot. So yeah, it's going to make me be like, yo, what? I'm going to do the best that I can. I am not perfect. I'm doing the best that I can. And this is the way that I am processing my reaction to these comments in this time. Will I look back on them and say, maybe I shouldn't have done that? I don't know, maybe. But that's the beauty of what you have access to on the other side of this lens. Because the easier thing for me to do would be say nothing. No one made me make the video. Nobody made me have a take. I could have never talked about it ever. I could have ignored every comment, blocked every person. I could have done any of those things. But I'm choosing to get in front of what I believe is a complicated and dicey situation, because that's what a person that at least envisions themselves to be somewhat of a thought leader, or would have the capacity to be a thought leader later on in life, that's what they would do. They would take the hard, complicated subject and try to put out an opinion about it so that people can have conversations. Conversations are how people evolve and grow. That's what I'm trying to do. So it's like, somebody said, Rick just said on Facebook, Donnie said Youngkin's name sounds Chinese. What kind of out of the blue childish crap is that? Exactly. It's completely unnecessary and dumb. It's a dumb strategy. Doesn't mean that the guy didn't do great things, wasn't the best president, blah, blah, blah. It just means that's not a good strategery, Jim. But people are like, go turncoat. He did it. He's playing 700 dimensional, 5-year in advance chess. If Donnie's playing 5D upside down underwater chess in a pineapple in a submarine 5 leagues under the sea with James Cameron, he's in the next version of fucking Avatar. How come he couldn't figure out that these motherfucking demons in DC were gonna make the fucking police not exist that day? How could he been playing 800D dimensional fucking chess and not figure out that shit was gonna happen? Like, what did the fuck, dude? It's like people, like Donnie's like this infallible, every single thing he does, it's 700D chess. No, it's fucking not. Because there's been 800D upside down chess that he's been playing according to these people. Here, don't worry, the white hats are in charge. And it's been not that. And as a result, there's people languishing in fucking prison for not doing dick. And everybody's like, go turncoats. They're like, DeSantis is an establishment shill. It's like, is he? Is he an establishment shill? Because 5 fucking seconds ago, you didn't think he was. But now he is because Donnie said it. It's like, shut up. Like, you're just as easily persuaded by all the bullshit that you're trying to project on all of us that are out here trying to figure out what's going on out here. You're projecting your lack of backbone about what you believe by being like, yeah. It's like the easiest position that you could have is just stump for Donnie forever. And another easy one would be completely turn on him and say he's shit. The harder position to have is the position that I believe a lot of people have had, which is what I've been saying. It's like, these things are great, this thing is not great, this is this. It's like, there are people that are trying to just shine a light on why they came to these conclusions. But it's just like, dude, must be some shill. It's like, it's just like, whom hurt you? There's no easy take on this. It's complicated. You think I want to come out here and be like, oh, Donnie? Of course not. I don't want to say anything bad about Donnie. Like I said 1,000 times, it's like everything. He's done so many things that have been great. But, oh no, you're switching soul. It's like, if Donnie told you to bend down and kiss DeSantis's boot fucking 6 days ago, you would have done it. And now, because he said this, now, he's establishment. Establishment what? What fucking establishment? Because he's talking to, do you even know that he fucking talked to him? Do you know that? Does anybody have an inside track to world economic? Does anybody even know? I don't know. Probably fucking not. But everybody's got some take. But there was the same people that were like, don't worry, bro, the white hats are in charge. The military's facing the other way. There's 13 stripes on the flag, and one of them's red, and the wind blew this way. So that means that Donnie's in charge, and Pompeo was sent here from the fucking Anunnaki. Pompeo has an inside track to the Anunnaki, and Elon and Pompeo and Donnie are inside a Black Hawk under the sea communicating via Starlink with Prezi t-shirt. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like, can you even follow your own train line of thought? No, because if you go on Instagram or go on social media and you fucking chirp all these influencers in fucking 24 hours, when your story goes away and your bullshit ass post that nobody was paying attention to in the first place, when it disappears, nobody gets to call you out on your dumbass take 6 months from now. Whereas the rest of us are taking it and emblazoning it into the internet in perpetuity until the end of time. We're standing on our beliefs at the moment. You got 5,000 hours of HD 1080p footage of every wrinkle on my fucking face. You could see it in my eyeballs, what I'm thinking about and how I'm reading this shit. You can read back every single Facebook chat, YouTube chat, going back 13 months. You could watch 4 hours of footage of me reacting to comments, inbound, things that are happening day of. You can see me predicting things and talking about what I think is going to happen next. You can see me interacting in DMs. You know how many people have talked to me in the DM? There's 50,000 DMs that any person could screenshot at any given time and be like, look at this fucking guy. Do you have that? No, but everyone has some fucking opinion. It's like, do you have 1,000 episodes of you being like, here's my take? No, you just chirp it when it's convenient, when you have a gang behind you, so you can be like, good, turncoats, Donnie. It's just like, oh, okay. You don't know shit about me. 99% of the people that say this stuff don't know anything about me, wouldn't even notice me if I walked down the street right next to them. But they have some hot take from the toilet in their mom's basement about why I'm some such and such when they don't even have the balls to stand on their own. Make a video then, and you explain eloquently to your audience that you may or may not have why what I'm saying is fucked up. And maybe, just maybe, thousands of people will watch it, and then you'll have more of an outlet than I do. And then we'll both be competing for this attention, and you'll win. And good for you. I hope you do, because this is a marketplace, Jim. Nobody's inflating me. Nobody is paying my way. The only people that pay for this channel to exist is you, the people. That's it. And interestingly enough, even if you didn't, even if no one did, I'd be doing it anyways, because this is what I like to do, because I believe it's important for the world. Because I want to see a world that has people that are not getting destroyed on their taxes, not getting bamboozled at the elections, not getting trapped in a biomedical hellscape, not being told that they can't see their grandparents in the hospital. And I've been lucky enough to have this distribution point where hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people can consume the things that I say and hopefully change the way that they think, so that the next time this demonry comes down the pike, we can maybe stop it. I can't stop everything. I'm just doing the best that I can. But a lot of people on here have a lot of power, a lot of influence, a lot of communication, a lot of everything that could generally ultimately benefit the world. And if I can change their mind or help them think some type of way, I'm willing to step out and take all of the inbound shots where people are like, Donnie upside down, GOP shit. Yeah, fine. If that's the battle that I have to have, that is a very basic, elementary, milquetoast battle that I will happily take. Because you know who's getting absolutely fucking clapped out there? People in the military, people in the police department, first responders, nurses, doctors, people that are medical professionals that are getting their shit stripped away from them, people in the entertainment industry that are getting counted out of different roles and different opportunities because of their political beliefs. Your average everyday person that gets their kid kicked out of school because of their political beliefs, gets fired because of their political beliefs, lose their friends because of their political beliefs, loses their family because of their political beliefs, has their kid, has their ex-wife tell their doctor that they can chop off their son's pen 15 so he could be a little girl, you're a nice little friendly girl, and just remove that pen 15. I'm just trying to stop this demonry as best as I can. If I knew how to do it any other way than this, I'd be doing it. So it's like, what are you doing? Chirping me about how I'm a turncoat for Donnie? What the fuck are you even talking about? What have you done? Nothing, because we can't even see what you've done, because there is nothing there. But if you have, great. All of us should be participating. You should have your shit out there. I hope you beat me. Beat me. Be better than I am. Fine. The marketplace will tell us who's putting out better shit. That's the beauty of it. So go do it. If I'm some bad person, unfollow me, make a comment, make a video, tell me how shitty I am, say my merch is shit or whatever you want, comment me, chirp me, do whatever you want, tag me in a million things. Get my whole audience to leave me and go and follow you. Do whatever you want, but the choice is yours. Have at it. No one's stopping you. Kelly, who am I talking about? I'm not talking about anybody specifically. Yeah, Crybaby Talk Radio. Yeah, it's Crybaby Talk Radio. Sick burn. Do another one. Say he should go take a nap. And like, look, and the other thing too is like, it's like there's 90 minutes, there's 97 minutes right now of this particular cut, right? And if you were to cut any bit of it out, you could say this guy sucks for X, Y, or Z reason. Look at this terrible response, this terrible take. And that's totally fine. I'm willing to accept that because I'm not going to delete the post. I'm not going to delete the audio, and you can judge for yourself because you can see that if a person really cared about what they were doing and was pouring all of their time and attention into something like this, that maybe you would react and say things in the same way. I don't know how else to do it. This is the best I got right now. I don't know. I'm trying my best. So it's like I'm opening myself up for scrutiny. It is to be expected. That's the point. People are not able to discuss openly without cutting people out. This is true. Your best isn't good enough. All right, cool. Why can't we have honest and fair elections? I don't know. That's a great question. Why aren't there men like you in the dating market? I don't know. I would be surprised. Look in the comments. Look in the comments on the post. I'm sure that there are. Somebody said the blood pressure, though, is it worth it? Yeah, it's worth it. If I think that I'm doing something that'll change people's mind, that'll leave the world a better place in my own tiny little way, even if I change it 0.0000001%, then yeah. Thank you, Papa WB. You need to run for political office? Yeah, I would be happy to do that. Thank you, Terrell Core. Appreciate it. Somebody said people will agree with you no matter what. No, they won't. It's been more than obvious that that's the case. So why aren't I running? Because I don't have enough of a platform yet, because I'm 35. I don't know. Why aren't you running? I'm doing the best that I can right now. If I run, I don't want to lose. Why are people throwing away their time by being so ignorant? That's a great question. I think a lot of people don't value time. As you say, these people are sad inside. Yes, I agree. I think a lot of people are sad inside. Where you live, it's rich kids club to run for office. I don't necessarily think that that's true. Maybe, but I think the right message rises to the top when it's right. So I don't know that I'm not going to live my life believing that I can't because of X reason. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to believe that I could make a difference no matter what, rich, poor, or whatever. Keep the truth coming. Thank you. Appreciate that. Jester girl, thank you. You're going to need to build a community for all the NYers that are about to flee. That's what Florida's for. Stop being a shill. Wenster is a deep state operative. Appreciate you watching, Wenster, even though you're part of the covert deep state. I know that you could be colluding with the anti-Donnie super PACs right now, but I do appreciate that you're tuning in. Probably with egg on your face. Somebody said on TikTok, my gut tells me DeSantis and Tulsi are snakes. I don't know what gut pull that is, but DeSantis has been doing a lot of good things that we really like. So I don't know. I mean, if your gut tells you that, that's fine. But to even put to put DeSantis in the same category as Tulsi just seems off the mark to me. But hey, if that's your belief, that's your belief. No, Ian is definitely deep state. There's no doubt. Somebody said, will Donnie run third party? I have no idea. Who's funding DeSantis? Who's funding everybody? Everybody's being funded. You got to do the best that you can with the people that are there. Yeah, let's do that, Ian. I'm doing 5 stand-up comedy shows with Chad Prather. So let me pitch that while I'm here, while I'm reminded. If you go to bobbysauce.com, on the top is the schedule. I'm doing 5 shows in Port Charlotte, Florida with Chad Prather this week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and 2 shows on Saturday night, stand-up comedy opening for Chad Prather in Port Charlotte, Florida. So if you're in the local Florida area, please come out to the show. It's going to be a lot of fun. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. This week, I'm heading over there Wednesday morning. We got a show Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, and 2 shows on Saturday with Chad Prather. The links are on bobbysauce.com. Click the schedule in the top right corner on bobbysauce.com and come see the show. Vicious Mud Puppy says, see you there. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. I wrote a pretty good set. I'm going to go and rehearse it after I get off this, because that's what I do, working for the deep state, working for the upside down controlled operations guy. I'm going to go collect my super PAC money. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and rehearse my comedy set for this week after I get off here for an hour, 2 hours. Denise says, damn, I wish I was in Florida. Coming soon, but not to make the shows. Well, I'm doing 3 more shows in Florida in December. Go to bobbysauce.com and click on the schedule at the top, and you'll see all the upcoming dates. December 8th, December 10th, and December 11th in Florida. Thanks, Angela, on Facebook for the comment. I see a lot of people talking about Carrie Lake. I don't know what the stats are. I just saw that they called it, which is just complete trash. There's no way that you'll convince me that that is legit. Nice. Most of the shows with Chad are sold out, but Saturday, that's awesome. Yeah, he said they were selling really well. But yeah. I know. So Ian said, it's hilarious that people, actually he said, it's hilarious that there are human personas that believe people like us have the time to pretend or parade around as one thing and then be another thing. Like I said before, it's like, that would be a heck of a acting job. For me to just be a fake person all day, oh my God, that would be challenging. It's like we can't figure out how to get messaging right on, the leadership of the party, but they can figure out how to get a guy to be like a deep state operative for 20 months. It's like, what? They can barely cover their own tracks in general. Somebody said, I think she has a better chance than Ron, to be honest. I don't know. See, this is the beautiful thing about TikTok. There's a guy chirping me in the comments, and he is blocked. Peace. Great seeing you. See you never. That was easy. Thank you, Camilla Milando, for the badge. Appreciate that. Yeah, blocking people is awesome. I love that. Controlled op doesn't mean fake, though. Yeah, I guess I'm controlled op then. Who's controlling the op? That's what I don't understand. It's like people are like, when I first was getting going, I had 18 or 20,000 followers. There was this guy making videos about me and some other people, and I. Yeah. And he was like, oh, they all have some agent that has them on this team and they work together and he's getting paid by some agent. And I'm like, this guy barely has a handle on his own life, yet he knows what I'm doing. It's like, yeah, yeah, I'm collecting a paycheck from some agent. Who's the agent? How did you figure that out? I would love to. Where's that check at? I'd love to go get that check. Accepting money to make Vontech? I don't even know what that means. What money am I accepting? Who am I accepting money from? That's what I understand. He's accepting money to be at. For who? Who am I accepting money from? Please inform me, because I would love that. Honestly, so TikTok, why aren't you trying to grow your comedy on this page instead of this? What do you mean? This is the comedy. The world is the comedy. The jokes. Contacts, not you. What is? I don't know what that means. Oh, I don't know. Accepting money to make contacts? I don't know. Yeah, the comedy is just part of the game. It's just part of my delivery mechanism. It's just part of the branding strategy. Comedy is just how I have fun with it. If I was just on here hemming and hawing about politics all day, I'd live a pretty sad life. So I like making jokes, and I like making it fun and enjoyable. So the comedy is just part of it. But this is what's important right now. Yeah, I could have come on here and told jokes, but I think this is important. Is this what my set is like? No. You'll have to come to the show to find out. Thank you, Barbara, on Facebook. Your has an apostrophe RE on TikTok. Your is apostrophe RE when referring to a person. Your, Y-O-U-R, is not the correct way to do it. You do Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. It means you are, like you are not funny. Your, with an apostrophe. If you could get that one right, that would be great. Do a comedy show in Vegas. Yeah, that would be good. I would do that. Y-O-U apostrophe R-E is how you say your. It's how you spell and write your. You are. Say it out loud. You are. If it doesn't sound right how you're doing it, it's you are. Just sound it out. Sound it out with the words there. Do you have show times on your website? Yeah, it's all listed on there. Thank you, Chef Haas. Terrell said, if I buy a shirt, does that mean I'm a deep state ops agent? Yes, it does. It means you are funding the deep state. He does need the grammar sweatshirt. I agree. Excuse me. New shirt. Sound it out. Yeah, exactly. I agree. Yo, somebody on TikTok just gave me like a baseball cap or something. That's pretty cool. Thank you. I don't know what that means. You actually said my name right. Nice. What do people say? Hassie? What's up, Ganja, babe? If you ask for it, they will find you. Be careful what you wish for. I don't even know what that means. Is that a threat? Yeah. I love takes like that. Amanda said, I repost more of your videos than anyone else I follow. Thank you. That's awesome. Appreciate that. Are your ears warm? Yes. Literally. What do I have against Meatloaf? I don't have anything against Meatloaf. I just imagine that the vast majority of people that chirp me in the comments on TikSnap are waiting on their mom to finish heating up the meatloaf, and they'll like be in their basement on the pooper, like dropping a hot brown in between their video game, and they'll be like, "This guy sucks," and it's like, yeah, you're right. You are correct. So I just imagine them being like, "Ma, the meatloaf." I said that on here, like on a TikTok live stream, like a couple weeks ago. And it got like reported for like hate speech or something. And I was like, because the meatloaf, that's how I know, you know? That's how I know the meatloaf is being prepared right now. If you're on Instagram and you don't already follow me, make sure you hit the button and follow. If you're on TikTok and you don't already follow me, make sure you hit the button and follow me if you could. The meatloaf is ready, yes. All right, I want to keep it under 2 hours, so I'll answer. If anybody has any more questions, I'll answer a couple more questions before I go. I'm gonna go in the next like 7 or 8 minutes. Gina said I had meatloaf tonight. That's good to know. That's right, Lane on Facebook. Chinook says, "Tell me why I should follow you." No, I'm all set. You could just go to my page and watch the videos, and if you like them, then you could follow me. If I tell you why, wouldn't you still do that? You know, like go look at the videos, see if you like them. If you like them, follow me. If you don't, don't. But I'm not going to tell you why you should follow me. So people must love the economy right now. Yes. Crux of life. Bobby, I've followed you forever. I think your comedy is gold. So perfect. Got me through the clam dem. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Really appreciate it so much. People talking about the orange bad man on TikTok. He's very bad. He's orange, and he's bad. Do we really need 10 days to count a state, or are we being robbed? I think you know the answer to that. I'm from Florida. TikTok, I'm from Florida, and I'm so happy with our governor. Agreed. I also am happy with him as well. Thank you for trekking. Fool says, thank you for giving your time and doing what you do. I appreciate that. Is it a vitamin water? No, this is a Spindrift. Steve on Facebook said, tell me about the Kerry Lake stuff. They're trying hard to steal. Yeah, I mean, obviously. Valerie said, when's my birthday? March 3rd. Vicious Mud Puppy says, followed since Tommy Vex shared a story. That's awesome. Do I have any Meatloaf shirts? No, but I could make one. Scott says, your videos are hilarious. Feta beef is going to be outstanding. I agree. Feta beef is definitely a winner. I really do feel like feta beef is going to be the president one day, which I think would be good for America. If just feta beef, just beef. I mean, we would be doing great if there was just beef. John Beef. He's an everyman. He's just like us. He wears a hoodie. He forgot leg day. He has a hoodie on. Hoodie, hoodie, hoodie. He lives underneath a steel mill. He lives inside a steel plant. He's made of steel. His wife is so relatable. She's so relatable. Relatable. Look, his kids wear gym shorts to the most important event of the year. Look. They look like they just rolled off the couch. That's what Pennsylvania voters value. Is it? That's what they value? Like, I'm wearing gym shorts at my house alone. I'm not on television at the inauguration ceremony. They're like, look, Beef. Look, Beef and the gang are all comfy. Look, everybody's comfy for the beef celebration. Beef celebration. Carhartt hoodie. I am relatable. Blue-collar workers can be persuaded by leisure wear. Beef 2022. Beef. And I get it. Like, people are like, that's so pompous, making fun of his. No, I'm just saying, it's like, If you hired a chef and they showed up in flops and a tank top, you'd be like, what's that? You know? Oh, he's just comfy. It's like, dress for the job, you know? You ever walked into a doctor's office and the guy's wearing a swimsuit, you know? No. Imagine if your lawyer showed up to court in a set of flops, Tommy Bahama shirt. He's like, I'm comfy, I'm relatable. You'd be like, yo, put on a suit, psycho. Like, I'm in court right now. Like, dress the part. Like, I'm not an elitist suit elitist, but you're going to wear like a crispity, crackety, crunchy, like, you know what I mean? Like chip dusted Carhartt hoodie to the fuck. It's like, I guess. He is relatable. He's a blue collar man of the beef. He's a big loaf of Pennsylvania. He's just a big hearty loaf of PA. Just a good union loaf. Beefy union way of loaf. That's what you should call it. The union way of loaf. Just a big loaf of union. He's relatable. Grass-fed feder beef. He lives underneath a steel mill. Right now. He is inside a steel factory as we speak. Okay. All right. Feder beef. All right. Yo, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out. It is much appreciated. If you're in the Midwestern Florida area this week, come and see me open for Chad Prather. The tickets are on bobbysauce.com on the schedule tab. If you like the show, go to bobbysauceshow.com and leave a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, all the podcasts. That would be really appreciated. If you like the shirt I'm wearing, this is a Pompeo Donnie Pineapple Under the Sea. It's called Trust the Blackhawks, and it's on bobbysauce.com. Just go to the search bar and type in Trust the Blackhawks or just Trust the. Go to bobbysauce.com to check out the upcoming tour dates. I'm doing 3 shows in Florida in December and 5 shows this week in Port Charlotte, Florida, opening for Chad Prather. Go to tinyurl.com/FloridaManTour for the shows that are coming up in December. Spread the word that I'm a deep state operative. If you're on TikTok, make sure you follow me. If you're on Instagram, hit the little arrow, make sure you follow me. If you're on Facebook, YouTube, follow the channel, leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know how you feel about the show. If you think what I say is dumb, tell me about it. If you think I'm a shill, tell me about it. Tell me in the comments, and I would be happy to check out what you have to say. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you on the next one. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, thank you so much. TikTok, thank you so much. Are the shows at Waffle House? Yes, they are. TikTok, always keeping it 100. Thank you so much. TikTok, I will see you later. Instagram, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Facebook, YouTube, thanks so very much. Facebook, YouTube.